2016, new jobs, new luck. The rest of 2015 didn't bring much change. After losing my job and breaking up with my girlfriend, my use went on as usual. Being frugal helped. I could live off my savings and keep funding my addiction without problems. Tiliden joined the mix from time to time, adding a short-lived good mood in the afternoons. My libido was gone completely, erased like it had never existed. Anyone who has been there knows that hollow absence. Fluoxetine, opioids, strong sleep medication, and beta blockers, hardly a healthy cocktail. The first half of the year was uneventful. 20 milliliters a day, no job, no drive to study, no interest in much of anything. Eventually, my money started running out, so I needed a new job. I found a listing from the university for a delivery position, heavy lifting, long hours. I applied, did 2 trial shifts, and got hired. But by the second day, I already knew I couldn't do it. GBL had wrecked my body. I couldn't handle physical strain anymore. 30 minutes of work left me destroyed. The shifts were 6 hours of constant lifting and moving. I knew it would break me, but I had no other choice than to push through the 2 months. I could barely carry a crate of drinks up the stairs without running out of breath. That job crushed me. When the 2 months ended, I quit and found something easier nearby. The job I still do today. A small shop, working the register, serving customers. I actually enjoy it. It lets me function, stay around people, and dose discreetly without anyone noticing. Since it's not physical work, I manage fine. At the end of 2016, I met a new girlfriend, my last one so far. We were together for 2 months until she ended it over text. I guess she saw my nightly episodes. A friend once told me that when I sleep, I thrash, kick, and mumble nonsense. Maybe that scared her off. Since January 2017, I've been single again. My use stayed the same, 20 to 25 milliliters per day. I had no desire to stop, no plans to taper or quit. Honestly, I didn't even know what a full withdrawal really felt like. It could hit any time, if I ran out, forgot my bottle, or got stuck somewhere too long. Careful planning was my survival. In every other part of life, I was careless, but when it came to dosing, I was precise and alert. I never left home without my measured supply for however long I'd be gone. It's exhausting, hiding all of this, dosing secretly in public, pretending to be fine. Not even my family knew, not even my closest friends. Outwardly, I was functioning, an integrated member of society as long as I was on. But the second I wasn't, everything collapsed. In March 2017, I hit the ground again. A harsh wake-up call that nearly killed me. Emergency room, alcohol and medication intoxication, acute kidney failure. The first warning shot? Everyone knows long-term GBL use isn't healthy. By then, I had found a vendor with consistently good quality, no more BDO, and for that, I was grateful. They claimed it was 99.99% pharma-grade GBL from Germany. I doubted it, but at least it didn't make me lose my mind again. I still hoped I hadn't caused permanent damage. I've always had a best friend to drink with. We've both been loyal to alcohol for years. Sometimes the drinking masked my withdrawal. Since alcohol also hits the GABA receptors, it substituted for GBL in a way. During one withdrawal, I even developed a strange rash on my face. People laughed about it at parties. I laughed with them. Once I drank so much liquor that I blacked out completely, but the withdrawal symptoms stopped. It's insane how much alcohol you can tolerate when you're on GBL. Everyone else gets drunk, and you barely feel it. No one around me ever knew why. That night I passed out, but 2 hours later I woke up with stabbing pain through my body and head. The room was melting, objects warping, colors bleeding together, sounds morphing into hallucinations. It didn't even scare me. It fascinated me, like a mushroom trip. I was still drunk enough to stay calm. I drank 2 milliliters of GBL, and it was like falling from a psychedelic sky straight back to earth. The distortions faded, the sound stopped, and I was normal again. Another milliliter, and I was asleep. A strange, surreal memory, but unforgettable. In March 2017, it happened again. Another drinking night with my friend. He'd moved in with his girlfriend to their own place. We had dinner, beer, spirits. I always brought my doses and my nighttime medication: 160 milligrams Dominal, 7.5 milligrams Zopiclone, 45 milligrams mirtazapine, plus blood pressure pills and a couple of Teva, just in case. Not a healthy combination, especially with alcohol. I drank heavily and remembered almost nothing. I just know I tried to drown my withdrawal with liquor. Around 2 a.m., we went to bed. I slept for 10 hours straight, unheard of for someone addicted to GBL. When I woke, I felt drained, dizzy, confused. I tried to sit up, but couldn't. My friend came in, joked that I was still drunk, but I could barely form sentences. My words fell apart in my mouth. We laughed it off at first until I tried to stand and collapsed back onto the couch. I couldn't walk, couldn't hold a glass of water. My face turned yellow, my eyes blurred, my body was shutting down. When hallucinations started again, my friend panicked and called an ambulance. I didn't want that, but I couldn't resist. My mother called in that exact moment. Somehow she knew. I could barely speak, just told her I was going to the hospital and didn't know why. The worst part was knowing I couldn't take my GBL with me. My doses were in my backpack. I only had 4 capsules hidden in my pocket. Maybe 4 hours of safety, no more. In the ambulance, they put in an IV, drew blood, gave me saline. I hadn't peed since the night before. Classic for acute kidney failure, though no one knew that yet. In the ER, I was left alone for over an hour. When I realized they hadn't opened the IV drip, I turned it on myself. Eventually, I managed to message my friend and my mother with trembling hands. I was supposed to work at 5. My friend called in sick for me. My mother wanted to come, but I begged her not to. I just wanted to go home. After an hour, I took one of my capsules, sparingly. My mouth was so dry I could barely swallow. I asked a nurse for water. She brought it reluctantly. Later, they asked for a urine sample, but I was too dehydrated. I gave them a few drops. A bit later, I was taken for a CT scan and then back to my room. Another hour, another infusion. I slowly started feeling better, finally able to stand and go to the bathroom. The doctor told me I should stay overnight for observation, but I refused. I had no more doses with me, and there was no way I'd stay in a hospital without them. I signed myself out against medical advice. My friend picked me up, and we smoked outside. He drove me home because I was too weak to drive. The next day I looked awful, but went to work anyway. I still hadn't learned. Later I read the hospital report. Positive for benzos, opioids, antidepressants. Diagnosis: acute kidney failure. My GP ran blood tests later. They were normal. So I went right back to my life. 25 milliliters a day. It should have been a serious warning shot. My body was telling me to stop, that this life couldn't continue. As my doctor said, I was gambling with my life. I still wonder if it was a suicide attempt, swallowing that many meds. I could have died, and maybe that wouldn't have bothered me. I'm not exactly full of joy these days. The whole thing just wears me down. Maybe I wanted to end it, maybe not. It doesn't matter now. I'm still here, sitting in front of my computer, stuck in this cycle. A life dictated by addiction, barely held together. The present, 2017 to 2018, and the here and now. It's now 2018, winter, the easy GBL season, when jackets make it simple to carry capsules everywhere. That's how much addiction controls my life, my perception, and my emotions. There are no seasons anymore, just phases of consumption. I've been single for a year and have no real interest in a relationship. The thought of hiding the addiction from someone new, of constantly planning when and how to dose unseen, is exhausting. I've become a professional at secret dosing. It's not that I don't meet people, I do. And it often makes me sad. I've met women with medical and psychology degrees, careers I once dreamed of. Psychology was always my goal, but that door closed long ago. I even met a doctor who loved medication as much as I did. I convinced her to go buy benzos with me. Now I have a stockpile, enough to get through a withdrawal if I ever have to. You always have to be ready for disaster. A vendor shutting down, a stash running low, a night away from home without your dose. Spontaneity doesn't exist. After that, I decided to confess to the doctor. I told her about my dependency. We met for coffee. She listened. I gave her printed reports and information on GBL. She told me to keep them safe in case of emergency, that my one trusted family member should have them too. I know I have a massive problem. Admitting it is only the first step. I'll need inpatient detox eventually, and that terrifies me. The delirium, the psychological collapse, the endless fight afterward. Addiction is never cured. You fight it every day for the rest of your life. What scares me most is living blind, numb, detached, disconnected from everything, always dosed, barely human. My psyche has been trained for years to crave a hit every hour. My body screams for it. I don't know how to erase that. My mental illness was there before, but the drugs made it worse. I'm numb, emotionless. A living body wasting away, searching for relief. I'm tired of life. Maybe I'll find my way again someday, but right now I'm in the darkest phase I've ever faced. Depression has been with me for over a decade, and GBL only deepened it. I can list 100 things I should have done differently. I had no direction in school, no sense of purpose. Now I wonder what would have happened if I'd made other choices. If I'd never touched drugs, if I'd known what I wanted. Drugs and medication can teach you things, but not like this. I wouldn't wish this path on anyone. No one expected it of me, not even myself. Sometimes I wish I'd never been born. I know I have to face this, but maybe tomorrow. Conclusion. GBL is a powerful drug. I haven't read many accounts from people who've stayed on it as long as I have. I don't know which is worse, the years or the dose. My dose isn't huge, but enough to ruin everything. I'm not on the streets, but I feel like I'm falling anyway. My only purpose is the next dose. The half-life is brutally short. The whole process is exhausting beyond belief. My life is one long act of hiding. From friends, from family, only 2 people have ever known. Often I sit alone in my room and cut myself just to feel something. Pain, at least, is real. That's not just the addiction. It's my broken mind too. I know self-harm isn't a solution, but sometimes it's the only way to feel alive when you're mentally switched off all day. GBL once felt like a solution. It still helps, but only to keep me from collapsing into withdrawal. The early euphoria is long gone. I slipped into addiction years ago with tramadol. I even wrote a report back then called From Depression into Depression. I beat that one, but GBL hit me harder than anything. It's probably the worst thing I could have done to myself. I can't tell what's worse, the withdrawal waiting for me or my shredded psyche. I can't imagine ever rewiring my brain. I've been conditioned for years to dose every hour, everywhere. It's like slow motion torture. Without long-term therapy, I'll never escape. My brain and body have accepted GBL as normal, as essential as food or water. I'm fully conditioned. I'm a borderline case, and substance abuse is just one of many symptoms. Addicts can be well integrated in society. Not everyone ends up on the street. But I never imagined spending this much on drugs. Every cent goes into it. If I think about the thousands of euros I've spent for a cleaning solvent, it's absurd. But you don't think. You just need it. Rational thought fades. Thank you to everyone who made it this far. I hope my story shows what this drug can do. Maybe you recognize yourself, maybe in a different substance. This solvent is frighteningly powerful. Take care of yourselves. I'll update this story if there's ever something new.